In today's lesson, we are going to be graphing our linear equations from standard form. And one way that we're going to do that is by finding our intercepts. So where your line is going to intercept your x-axis and your y-axis. So in this first example, what's given to you is 3 different lines. And also with those 3 different lines, it identifies your y-intercept. So for your y-intercept, just like in the name, you want to look to see where your function, in this case your line, is going to intercept or cross over your y-axis. So for this blue line is going to intercept your y-axis at 5. But intercepts always have to be ordered pair. So your y value is 5, but what is your x value? So from your origin, you go over 0, up 5. So 0, 5 is your y-intercept. For your middle line, for the red line, your y-intercept, where does that line cross your y-axis? At 1. But again, that's what your y value is. You need to express your intercept as an ordered pair. So from your origin, you would go over 0, up 1. So 0, 1 is your y-intercept for your middle line. And then for your bottom line, that orange line, where does it cross your y or your vertical axis? At -4. But that's not an intercept. Intercepts have to be ordered pairs. So from your origin, you go over 0, down -4. So what you notice about all of these intercepts is that every single x value for your y-intercept is 0, and that will always be the case. So all y-intercepts have a 0 in the x position of your coordinate pair. And you know that coordinate pairs go x, y, just like the alphabet does. So your x value comes first and your y value comes second. So if you want to find your y-intercept of your equation algebraically, all you have to do is make x equal 0 through substitution. So if you have 6x plus 3y is equal to 24, this is standard form. Remember, ax plus by is equal to c, where a is the number in front of x, b is the number in front of y, and c is your constant, or your term that does not have your variable. You're going to make x equal 0 through substitution. 6 times 0 is 0, so that will cancel out. So you're just left with 3y is equal to 24. So divide each side by 3, and you get y equals 8. But this is not an intercept. Intercepts have to be ordered pairs. So you plugged in 0 for x, so your x value is 0, and then your y value is 8. So for the next example, it's all about x-intercepts. So where does your graph cross your x or your horizontal axis? So for the first line, the orange one, it crosses your x-axis at -5, but that's not an intercept. So from your origin, you go back -5, which is your x value, and then you go up or down 0. So -5, 0 is your x-intercept of your first line. Then for your blue line crosses your x-axis at -2. So from your origin of 0, 0, you go back -2 and then up 0, so -2, 0. And then for your last intercept for your x-axis is going to be the red line, and the red line crosses your x-axis at 3. So from your origin, you go over 1, 2, 3, and then up 0, so 3, 0 is your x-intercept. So for your x-intercept, every single time your y value is 0. So all x-intercepts have a 0 in the y position of your coordinate pair. So if you want to find the x-intercept of an equation algebraically, you simply make y equal 0. So again, you just plug in 0 for y and solve. So you have 6x plus 3y is equal to 18. So again, same equation, still in standard, ax plus by is equal to c form. And to find your x-intercept, you plug 0 in for y. So 3 times 0 is 0, and that will just cancel out. Then you divide 6 by both sides to get the x by itself, and x is equal to 3, which is not your intercept. You have to make it an ordered pair. So your x value is 3, your y value is 0 for your x-intercept. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and graph by finding our x and y intercepts. So if you notice, equation A, 4x plus 10y is equal to 20, that's in standard form. Ax plus by is equal to c. And one of the easiest ways to graph your standard form equation is by finding your intercepts. So first, we're going to find our x-intercept. So to find your x-intercept, you have a 0 in your y position. So we're going to plug in 0 for y. So now you have 4x plus 10 times y, where y we're going to plug in 0 is equal to negative 20. 10 times 0, 0 crosses off. So now we just have 4x is equal to negative 20. Divide each side by 4. And x is equal to negative 5. But remember, x equals negative 5 is not an intercept. It has to be an ordered pair. So your x-intercept is negative 5 for x, 0 for y. Now to find your y-intercept, you plug in 0 for x. So now we have 4 times 0 plus 10y is equal to negative 20. 4 times 0 is 0. Those cancel out. Now you have 10y is equal to negative 20. Divide each side by 10, and you get y is equal to negative 2. But you're not done, because that intercept is on an ordered pair. So your x value, you plugged in 0. Your y value, you got negative 2. So your y-intercept is 0, negative 2. Your x-intercept, here it is negative 5, 0. So let's go ahead and plot those 2 points on our coordinate plane. 2 points form a line, so once you plot those 2 points, we'll connect the dots and extend it out throughout the entire coordinate plane. So your x-intercept first, here's your x-axis. We go back negative 5, up 0, plot a point. For your y-intercept, you go over 0, down 2 for negative 2. Now we connect our dots, extending it throughout the entire coordinate plane with arrows on the end, because your domain and range are infinite. And now you have your line. All right, let's try the next one. Actually, go ahead and pause and try the next one on your own. All right, welcome back. Let's go ahead and check it out and see how you did. So let's find our x-intercept first. So to find your x-intercept, you plug in 0 for y. So 4x minus 6 times 0 for y is equal to 36. Negative 6 times 0 is 0, cancels out. So now we have 4x is equal to 36. Divide each side by 4, and x is equal to 9. But I know you did not stop there, because that is not an ordered pair. So your x value is 0, your x value is 9, your y value is 0. Now to find your y-intercept, you plug in 0 for x. So 4 times 0 minus 6y is equal to 36. 4 times 0 cancels off to give you 0. So now don't bring down 6y. You have to bring down that negative, which is attached to your 6. So negative 6y is equal to 36. Divide each side by 6, and y is equal, divide each side by negative 6, and y is equal to negative 6, which is not your y-intercept, has to be an ordered pair. So x is 0, y is negative 6. So plot those 2 points on your coordinate plane. We'll do our x-intercept first on our x-axis. So that's going to be at 9, 0, so over 9, up 0. And then your y-intercept, you go over 0, down 6. So 0, negative 6. Then connect your 2 dots, extending it throughout the entire coordinate plane with arrows on the end, and you've graphed your linear function. All right, the last thing for today, we're going to convert our slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, which pretty much means that y is solved for. And we want to get that to standard form. So ax plus by is equal to c. That's our goal, to go from slope to standard. A couple things that we have to keep in mind when we make this transition. To be in standard form, you can have no fractions or decimals, only integers. So that's like negative and positive numbers. Solve so that the x and the y are on the same side of your equal sign, just like this in standard form. Your ax and your by are on the same side, but the x term has to always come first. And then your a value, or the number in front of x, this one has to be positive. So if it's not a positive number, we have to make it positive. It says now you converted your y equals mx plus b to ax plus by is equal to c. So in these 4 examples, they're all in slope-intercepts. That means that the y is already by itself. We want to get it to standard. So our first step is to move this negative 3x to the opposite side. So we add 3x to both sides. So 3x and y are unlike terms, so we can't combine them. And we know for standard form, your x term has to come first. So 3x plus y is equal to 6. And now we're in the ax plus by is equal to c form. All right, same thing on b. We're in slope-intercept, so the y is by itself. So I have to move this 2x to the opposite side of my equal sign, so do your opposite operation. So you subtract 2x from both sides. Those cross off. Now you have negative 2x plus y is equal to 4. And we're in the ax plus by is equal to c. But it says your a value has to be positive, and right now it's a negative 2. So to make that become a positive number, I have to divide every single term to keep it balanced in my equation by negative 1. What that means, all my signs will just become opposite. So negative 2x over negative 1 is positive 2x. Positive y divided by negative 1 is minus y, is equal to 4 divided by negative 1 is negative 4. And now I'm in my ax plus by is equal to c, and my a value is positive. All right, the last 2 are both in slope-intercept form, but you'll notice that there's fractions in our equation. So step 1, we want to get rid of the fraction. So to do that, you have to multiply the entire equation by a number to get rid of that fraction in front of x. And what number do you multiply? Always by the denominator in your fraction. So put parentheses around your entire equation and then put the 2, which is your denominator, out in front of your parentheses. Now we're going to distribute this 2 through multiplication to every single term in our equation. So 2 times y gives you 2y is equal to negative 1/2 times 2. So now go ahead and take out your calculator, type in fractions always get parentheses, so parentheses negative 1 divided by 2, close it up, and then times 2. And when you do that, you get negative 1x. And then negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. So now step 1, the fractions are gone, but we need to get it into standard form now. So move that negative 1x to the opposite side by doing your opposite operation. So add 1x to both sides. Now you have 1x plus 2y is equal to negative 8. And now you are in standard form. You could also just write it as x plus 2y equals negative 8 because 1s as coefficients are not necessary. All right, then our last one, y equals 3/4 x plus 8. So again, there's a fraction that we want to get rid of. So put parentheses around your entire equation, and you always multiply through by your denominator, or the bottom number in your fraction, which is a 4. So I'm going to distribute that 4 through multiplication to all 3 terms. So 4 times y is 4y is equal to, do parentheses 3 divided by 4, close up your parentheses, times 4. And press enter. What do you get? 3. So 3x. And then plus 8 times 4 is 32. Now the fractions are gone, but our x term is not first. Our x and y's need to be on the same side. So we'll subtract 3x from both sides. Put your x term first for standard form. So negative 3x plus 4y is equal to 32. So now our x term is first. There's no fractions, but our a value is negative 3. Our a value has to be positive, so divide every single term by negative 1. That will just make all your signs become opposite of what they were originally. So this becomes positive 3x, negative 4y is equal to negative 32. Now our a value is positive 3. Now we are done. Alrighty, if you have questions, please let me know. But now go ahead and work on your assignment.